Hello everyone. Hello everyone. This is the London Tree Entertainment. Today I'm doing a live reaction video to the Thor Love and Thunder premiere, world premiere, and red carpet that took place in Los Angeles on the 23rd of June 2022. This is the trailer right now.
I'm sorry, Meek. It's very hard to get a rousing speech with the noise.
Oh, God. We're going to die.
The movie is releasing on the 8th of July in the United States.
That seems a bit dangerous.
This ends here and now!
Marvel Studios' Thor: Love and Thunder. PG-13. Tickets on sale now.
How exciting.
That's Christian Bale.
Experience it only in theaters July 8th.
We'll see Christian Bale for the first time in a Marvel movie titled Thor: Love and Thunder as God, the God Butcher.
What's up, Marvel Universe? I'm Anthony Carboni, and I am so excited to be here with you, Erica.
This event took place in Los Angeles. It's the world premiere and red carpet of Thor: Love and Thunder.
And creators of Thor: Love and Thunder.
And we are already joined here by the best fans in the world, the Marvel fans. Make some noise for Asgard!
Oh, they're looking so good. Let me ask you something, all you Thors and Star-Lords and Lokis out there. How you doing in this balmy 90-degree weather?
It does look hot
And for all the Dr. Jane
in Los
Fosters
Angeles.
and the Valkyries, how you doing, ladies?
Let me tell you something. These fans are out here in the heat, hanging out because they are the best fans in the universe, and they are just as excited as we are for this movie. Let me tell you something, Erica Ishii, and I think you already know this about me, and I think it's the same for you. Thor Ragnarok changed my life.
It's our favorite.
It changed my life. This movie is so amazing, and I am so excited to see where Thor goes from here and where this entire cast and crew goes from here. It's going to be very, very exciting.
That's right. And for those of you who are joining us at home, you can catch us live at marvel.com/Thor premiere.
You're on
And yeah, that's it. Marvel's YouTube and Twitch pages and Marvel's social channels.
That's right. And if you want to join us, if you want to join in on the action here and talk to us live on the live stream, remember you can tag @ThorOfficial and @Marvel on Instagram. On Facebook, you want to be on @Marvel and @Thor, and on TikTok @Marvel, and of course, everywhere you want to be using the hashtag Thor Love and Thunder. We're going to be watching that one all show long, and you may see what you're saying pop up on the screen.
Wow.
Look at all the
mighty
Mjolnirs.
crowd of a
These are people, fans,
mighty Marvel
dressed up
fans.
like
You know who else is
the
Is it-
Thor
is it
characters.
Tamara?
It is
Very
Tamara
interesting.
Krinsky over on stage. Tamara Krinsky.
Tamara, how's it going down there?
Hello. Hey, Erica. Hey, Anthony. I'm Tamara Krinsky, and I am right smack dab here in the middle of the red carpet for the world premiere of Marvel Studios' Thor: Love and Thunder. And this is an amazing spot because shortly, right behind me, the cast and the filmmakers are going to be making their way down the carpet to head inside the theater to see this film for the very first time. So we're going to talk to the cast, we're going to talk to filmmakers, and I'm actually really excited to talk to some of the folks behind the scenes who are responsible for putting together this crazy cosmic adventure. And not only that, it's a Marvel carpet, right? We are live, so anything can happen. And we're going to have folks from the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe who will be talking to you about their thoughts on Thor and their favorite Asgardians. Now, something that you guys who have watched these live streams before know, a lot of times you will see stuff happening over my shoulder on the carpet that I don't even know is happening because I'm focusing on the person I'm talking to. So we definitely want to know what you're you're seeing. So definitely use that hashtag Thor Love and Thunder and let us know what you love. Because honestly, this carpet is just full of love tonight. Erica, Anthony, what are you guys looking forward to?
I'm honestly looking forward to the surprises because on these red carpets, yes, we are here to celebrate all of the larger cinematic universe, but we're also here to just celebrate what these people are going to pull and what the surprises they're gonna show us.
Oh, absolutely.
Thor
This is
Love,
a
Love and
wonderful
Thunder
cast and crew.
is
They have
part
worked
of
together
Phase
for
4 of
years.
the
They're some of the
MCU.
most brilliant and hilarious
There have
and
been
closest
different
people
phases.
you will
This
see on
will
the
be
movie
in
set.
the
So I
fourth
want to see
phase
them all
of
reunited.
the
That's
Marvel
exactly.
Cinematic
I want to see all of
Universe.
these people together enjoying what
It
they
is
have done.
an American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics
That's right.
character
And why
Thor,
don't we take a little peek
produced
at the
by
trailer
Marvel
for what we're gonna see
Marvel
tonight?
Studios. Here's another
Get the popcorn now. Let me tell you the
trailer.
story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson. He was no ordinary man. He was a god. After saving planet Earth for the 500th time, Thor set off on a new journey. Well, he got in shape. He went from dad bod to god bod. And after all that, he reclaimed his title as the one and only Thor.
That's
Oh,
Natalie
speak too soon.
Portman.
Jane? The old ex-girlfriend. It's give or take.
Am I sensing feelings?
Nice.
The only ones who gods care about is themselves.
That's Christian Bale as God, the God Butcher.
All gods will die.
Coming this July.
I just want to say that was very, very impressive what you did back there.
He's just my first bad guy.
You never forget your first.
In gods we trust.
Unlike the other gods of kill. You have something worth fighting for.
Thor Love and Thunder.
Let's see who you are. I take off your disguise. And flick.
Oh, you flipped too hard, damn it!
Should we help them? And eventually, great.
Releasing on the 8th of July.
Wow.
That's a lot of Thor. That's more Thor than we've ever seen.
I've decided what I'm most excited about for tonight, Anthony. We're starting to get some arrivals here.
We
on
can
the
see
carpet,
fans
friends of the
waiting
Marvel
for
Cinematic
their
Universe.
Very
favorite
excited. Hey, Marvel
actors,
Universe, what's
Chris
up? Hey,
Hemsworth,
if you've
Natalie
got
Portman,
Mjolnir, hold
Tessa
up Mjolnir.
Thompson, and
Who's got
Russell
Mjolnir?
Crowe and Christian Bale.
We got some
They are
Stormtroopers and
waiting
helmets
for
in
all
there,
of them.
Ooh, lot of Mjolnirs. Hey, do we have any Stormbreakers? Where's Stormbreaker? Oh, we got way more Mjolnirs.
Yeah, that's true.
Way
It's
more
true.
Mjolnirs. Stormbreaker not getting enough respect, I think, tonight.
You know, I think after tonight, Stormbreaker will make it known that he is worthy.
I believe so as well. Hey, you know who else is worthy? All of the wonderful people that have helped to put
Thor
together
Love
this
and
event tonight.
Thunder
You
is a
are seeing
direct
some of
sequel
this
to
carpet
Thor
behind us,
Ragnarok,
but you
which
have no idea
came
how
out
amazing
in
this actually looks.
2017.
From all of
It
the
was the
amazing
29th film in the
standouts
Marvel
to the costumes
Cinematic
to the props,
Universe,
and there's an amazing team
and this
of
movie is
artisans that
directed
put
by
this together out
Taika
of nothing
Waititi.
over the last 2 days. Let's see how they did it.
These are like the highlights of the behind the scenes of how they put this all up for the premiere of Thor Love and Thunder. We can see these life-size statues of the characters in the movie. I don't know what the quotes mean. Kindly like and share this video and subscribe to my channel, please, and support me. There's too much music in there. I don't want to get in trouble with the copyright claim of YouTube.
Because you can earn points by reading articles and watching videos on Marvel.com.
The movie stars, as usual, Chris Hemsworth as Thor alongside Christian Bale, Tessa Thompson, Jaimie Alexander, Waititi, Russell Crowe. Taika Waititi is also in the movie. Russell Crowe and Natalie Portman.
Goddess of Thunder rises. You want to know more about her story? Start your journey today by claiming your copy.
And remember that there are limited quantities, so act fast. And remember, it's free to join, so start today and get rewarded just by being your Marvel fan self.
Scan the QR code or visit marvel.com/insider today. All right. Everybody is starting to arrive. The crowd is getting very, very excited. I want to know, Tamara Krinsky, how are things going over on your end?
Things here are getting hot, and I mean that literally, because one of the things, we've gotten shots of the cosplayers on your end of the carpet, but right across, I'm on Hollywood Boulevard.
In this movie, Thor attempts to find inner peace but must return to action and recruit Valkyrie, played by Tessa Thompson, Gore, a character played by Taika Waititi, who is also the director of Thor Love and Thunder, and Jane Foster, who is Natalie Portman, played by Natalie Portman, who herself has now become the mighty Thor to stop Gore, the God Butcher, the character played by Christian Bale, from eliminating all gods. So all these characters, including Thor, Valkyrie, Korg, Jane Foster, would be fighting against Gore, the God Butcher, who is, the character of which is played by Christian Bale. Christian Bale has also played other comic book character, which is Batman in the Batman trilogy, The Dark Knight. These are the cosplayers showing off on this screen right now. Is this Doctor Strange? This is Doctor Strange. Jane Foster. Maybe this is the character of Valkyrie, played by Tessa Thompson. And Thor himself. Interesting. These are all the cosplayers. The little kids also.
Fantastic. And that was really near and dear to my heart because I started out as a cosplayer and I have some of my cosplay buddies out here tonight in the crowd.
Yeah, everybody's looking extremely wonderful. I cannot believe the dedication of these people. But hello.
Hello, everyone.
But hello to you. Hello, Jaimie Alexander. How are you?
This is Jaimie Alexander.
Lady Sif, what have you been doing in the meantime in New Asgard?
Oh, what have I been doing? I'm
She
pretty
plays
sure
the role
if I
of
say
Sif.
anything, a Marvel sniper will get me. But I will tell you that this movie's great. I can't tell you how I know that, but I can tell you that. And you guys are gonna have a lot of fun. It's an adventure. It's a heck of an adventure.
Could you just give us, if you had some hand signals and some winks that you could do to let us know what's happening in the film?
There are swords involved, guys. You should know this.
Actually, we were not
swords.
Actually,
and-
we were not supposed to talk
sword-
about swords.
Well, what, you set me up. He set me up, guys.
Honestly, Lady Sif has been jumping around everywhere in the Marvel universe. Last time we saw you, you were torturing Loki pretty good, which was lovely. That must have been fun.
I mean, for several reasons, guys. I feel like if there was anybody that needed to beat up Loki, it would be Lady Sif.
Extremely cathartic and very well deserved. Now,
Very.
can you tell me about the training that you did both for beating up Loki and for kicking butt in this movie?
Oh, beating up Loki, that just came naturally. I was just like, look, I got this. I'll roll in the day of. Just stand there, don't move. I did land a hit on him once, it was like a little love tap. I was moving a little faster than he was moving, and I made contact, and he fell to the ground because he was supposed to. I didn't knock him to the ground. And then he got up, and I said, Tom, I'm so sorry. He goes, no, it's great. And I was like, he thinks it's great. I'll do it again. And for this installment, I didn't have to train, and you'll see why. That's all I got to say.
Ooh, it's because you're just naturally a badass. Yeah?
That's right. I'll give you the money later. But thank you.
I do want to say that I think it's interesting that you threw in two little humble brags, which was number one, you were moving a little faster than Tom.
That's just I can't help myself. It's just a fact. It's a fact. I wasn't bragging. It was a fact.
And then number two, that it was a love tap for you, but he fell down instantly.
He was supposed to fall down, everyone. He was acting. That's what he told me. He was acting.
You know, even though we've
Method
seen you
acting.
Jumping around in the MCU for a while, we have not seen you in Thor proper for a little bit. How did it feel to kind of come back and be working with everybody again and be back with the team?
It was very nostalgic. Very. Yeah. It was great.
We are so glad to have you back here. And for now, let's see what Tamara is up to. Tamara!
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Jaimie. It is so much fun to see Jaimie talk about this. Her sense of humor is on full display, but it was really touching to see how much it meant to her to come back to the Thor universe. So I'm kind of loving that. You know, there are so many people here who are such a big fan of this character and who have watched these movies over and over, and they all have their favorite parts. So we talked to some of the fans. As I mentioned, they've been here all day just waiting for the stars to show up. We talked to some of the fans about what some of their favorite best moments from Marvel Studios Thor Ragnarok over the years have been. Let's take a look.
Back to the fans now.
Gosh, I mean, I've been a Marvel fan before any of this. I mean, before this crazy thing happened to me, since the very first movie, I think Thor was always my favorite.
And what about the rest of the Asgardians? Do you have any that you hold near and dear?
Loki and Thor are pretty close. I love them when they're together. They're funny.
Well, that kind of makes sense, actually, because, Sprite is, we'll call Sprite a bit of a gray character. You kind of never know which way they're coming from, and Loki's similar, right?
People compare her to Loki all the time.
And so, being here, being at a Thor event, we've got Stormbreaker, we've got the Hammer, we've got Zeus's Thunderbolt, or Zeus's Lightning Bolt. Which would you prefer to wield if you had the choice?
The Hammer. I think the Hammer.
Let's skip the video to when Christian Bale makes an appearance. Let's go there.
I like summer.
Of the tiny bit of interaction between Thor and the Guardians that we've already seen.
It's so funny because I feel like Thor Ragnarok really established Thor as just a funny dude, and getting to see him with the Guardians, who are generally quite goofy as well, has just been such a treat. And so I would watch an entire spin-off series with that group of space people.
Absolutely, and we're going to see some of them tonight. I mean, hopefully we're gonna see I would love to speak to Sean Gunn. Honestly, there's a character that came out of nowhere and had.
That's Chris Hemsworth giving autographs to his fans and taking selfies with them.
His brother James Gunn behind the scenes.
This is happening this happened in Los Angeles on the 23rd of June 2022. This is the Thor Love and Thunder red carpet and world premiere taking place in Los Angeles.
If I could ask you, if I could ask, if you were going to do a raccoon, right now.
Oh, okay. So they do this thing where they like wash with their hands and they like scuttle. I've been doing a lot of that.
This
Trust
is what
me.
you've tuned in to see. This is what the Marvel fans want.
Panda fan. My trash panda fam is something that I've studied very closely. And so I can say with authority that Sean Gunn's raccoon moves, aces.
Obviously, one of the things that we want to see is some more of this.
The
Thor
film's
and Star-Lord
premise
interaction, because here are
is
two
that
guys that are
following
mostly
the
ego,
events of
that are mostly
Avengers
wisecracking, and mostly
Endgame,
think of
which came
themselves as
out
the
in
one in charge. And
2019,
it's very lovely to see
Thor
just in
attempts
that
to
15
find
seconds
inner
we
peace,
saw
but
the power
must
struggle
return
between
to
the two
action
women.
and recruit Valkyrie, Gore, and Jane Foster, who has become the mighty Thor, to stop Gore the God Butcher from eliminating all gods.
Rocket.
Okay. All right.
Christian Bale will be making an appearance soon.
Correct, Anthony. Correct.
We've got some more coming up here from the stage in just a moment, but first we want to show you some more of this fantastic setup we have here at the premiere, including a little exhibition that we like to call the Hall of Heroes, Erica Ishii. Let's take a look.
We told you this carpet was massive, so here I am, all the way at the other end of the carpet, where in just a short while, the cast and filmmakers are going to make their way down and head into the theater for the world premiere of the film. But before they do, we have an awesome surprise for them, an incredible display of costumes from Marvel Studios' Thor: Love and Thunder. Let's take a look. But first, we have a little bonus surprise for you. The head of the lovable tooth gnasher, one half of the famous goat pair. Since the goats are so large in the film, they use these very heads on set to help the actors with the eye lines. Now we have Zeus, played by Russell Crowe. Now we're going to have to wait and see exactly how his role plays out in the film, but we can see that his costume invokes regal qualities. It features gold accents and a chest plate that's befitting of a Greek god, and works in tandem with his famous lightning bolt. Next to him, we have the mighty Thor, played by Natalie Portman, who becomes a hero in her own right. Now, many parts of this look were created to reflect what we know as Thor's original hero costume, including the iconic red cape. But Dr. Jane Foster is very much her own person, so this mighty Thor has definitely put her own spin on what it means to possess the power of Thor. And here we have
Interesting
Thor, our
trivia.
God of Thunder, who's gotten a new look for this film. You'll notice that the costume builds on many of the usual elements of his traditional space Viking look, but the designers have taken it to the next level with new gold plating and more metal used throughout the costume, including his new double set of shoulder plates and awesome new helmet. And now we have Valkyrie's costume. The team really wanted this costume to represent a merging together of all of the different roles that Valkyrie has played in her life, from a Valkyrie warrior to a scrapper, and even King of Asgard. Next up, we've got Gore's look, worn by Christian Bale in the film. Gore's look is incredibly monochromatic, so the designers played with textures and movement within the fabric to give life to this costume and create his unique, sinister look. And now here we have the other half of our goat pair, Tooth Grinder. The costumes in this film are incredible, and I cannot wait to see
These were all the costumes of the characters, main characters.
Let's head back to the front of the carpet.
That's Chris Hemsworth giving autographs and taking selfies with fans.
Everybody is showing up. We are joined right now by somebody that we are very excited to talk to, Jennifer Kaden Robinson, the writer of Thor Ragnarok, co-writer of Thor Love and Thunder.
Yes. Did not write Thor Ragnarok. Did co-write Thor Love and Thunder.
Right. We're all caught up now.
Yes.
So you can tell us almost exactly nothing about this.
Yeah, I can tell you nothing. I can tell you Thor is in it. The mighty Thor is in it. Valkyrie is in it. Gore is in it. And that's it?
But here's what you can tell us. You can tell us, previous to this, you worked as a consulting producer on Hawkeye, and that was your first entry into the MCU. How has it been, and what was it like working with Taika on kind of creating this new Thor movie?
Okay, I feel like people use this word a lot in this industry, and we all talk in hyperbole, but I really mean this genuinely when I say Taika is a genius. And being able to be around him and to learn from him and to just watch him work was the coolest thing I've ever experienced in this industry. It is like, if you ever have the opportunity to co-write a movie with Taika Waititi,
I highly recommend it.
So
Okay. I'll make a note of that.
yes.
Yeah.
So he also famously does a lot of improvisation. Were there moments that the cast found or that he found that you went, oh, I got to expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, it was such a living kind of document the entire time.
She's
the
one
script,
of
and
the
it was like,
co-writers.
we would have
She
something,
wrote
and
the
then we would get there in the
screenplay
morning,
with
and then we
Taika
would change it,
Waititi.
and then 10 minutes later we would change it, and it would just like it kept evolving, and it was such a collaboration between myself, Taika, the actors, Brian Chapek, our producer, like everybody involved, Brad Winterbaum, like Kevin, everybody involved really has a piece of this film in such a special way because Taika fosters an environment where everybody has a voice.
That's so wonderful. And I am so excited for people to see this movie, Jennifer, because I think it is so funny and so sweet and so wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Tamara, what you got going on?
Oh, you know, just hanging out, watching people walk by, hearing fans cheer for people walking by. It was so cool to hear Jennifer talk about the collaborative environment on set. You know, so often writers kind of get shafted, and it was amazing to hear her talk about how much Taika and she worked together and the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe team to bring this world to fruition. You know, there's so many new elements that we get to see in this film, as well as places that we get to revisit. And knitting that all together is really, really challenging. It took a huge creative team to do that. And the fact that they all work so closely together, they've involved new technology together. You know, there's a new thing that they've used in this film called the volume. It's new technology, which is a complete 360 digital set. So instead of actors being on a green screen or a blue screen and having to just kind of imagine what's going on around them, they're actually surrounded by their environment and they get to see it in real time. The light reflects off of their faces in real time. It's pretty amazing. And then they take that and they combine that with incredible practical sets that they build. And it creates just a seamless whole that's really incredible to see. And, you know, for the actors, they've talked about the fact that the combination of these production sets where they get to walk on real cobblestones in places like New Asgard, combined with the digital piece of the volume, allows them just to imagine things in entirely different ways. You know, and for the first time, like, they don't have to necessarily talk to a tennis ball on the top of a pole when they're trying to imagine something, or they can actually, you know, sit on set and look out and see the sunset that they're talking with. So it's pretty incredible when you think about how far advances have come when it comes to creating all of these worlds that amazing comic book artists and writers have imagined and been able to draw. And now film technology has caught up to that, and Marvel Studios is so good at putting that together and putting things on screen. So who are you guys talking to right now? What do you have coming up? What are you seeing over there?
So we are.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
No,
so
please.
Christian Bale is
We
here.
are here with Mr.
Let's
Christian Bale,
listen
who
to
plays
him.
Gore the God Butcher.
They recognize him.
So how does it feel to join the MCU?
It's been a lot of bloody fun. Yeah, some good people. I'm in very good company.
I gotta ask, a character with the name like Gore the God Butcher, I feel like I hear that, I know exactly what Gore the God Butcher is about. How do you bring some more depth and nuance to that? Is that something that you talked with Taika about? Because he's a guy that butchers gods. Right?
Yeah, his name is self-explanatory, isn't it? And you know, he is a butcher, but Taika, he's a surprising gentleman. He's crazy talented, and he manages to have great irony and comedy, but it's also very moving, this film, and that's where the whole kind of nuances that you're talking about come into play in this film.
See, he was just doing that thing that we have to do where we just talked around something, but I get what you're saying. I heard from people on the set, I mean, Tessa and Chris, they said, we really enjoyed working with Christian, but we were almost kind of terrified to talk to him when he was done up as Gore. He was almost too frightening to speak to when he was on set.
It was a little creepy. I like, obviously, I looked at Nosferatu as an influence, and also I love Aphex Twin videos. Yes. Come to Daddy. Yeah. That, right? Now, you can't do that full on and still have it be a family-friendly film. People would be running for the exits. But believe me, we did shoot that. And then, you know, I gave Taika lots of choices there, but I don't blame him. He was a creepy fellow to be around. And then on top of that, I had these fans, so I couldn't really talk to anybody because every time I can't talk, so I just gave up.
That's another thing is you underwent a complete makeup transformation, and that happened every single day. What was it like having to sit in the chair for all of that? Did it get easier?
You got to go to a Zen place. I've done it a few times in my career. I kind of didn't realize I was going to do it on this one actually, but the special effects makeup artists, Adam Johansson and Carla and Emily, they are as responsible as I am for creating this character. And I had a great time. They were wonderful characters, and it was a nice little transition into the weirdness of Gore each and every morning.
That transition was not only makeup and hair and costume, but movement and speech as well. Can you talk us through a little bit of that process?
Yeah, you don't really know what you're going to do until you're looking in the mirror, especially with something with that much prosthetics. And, that we had planned the whole dance that Taika and I had planned. We didn't get to shoot it again. That'll be for another film. But a whole Gore dance, and so with a lot of his movements and styles. And I had to teach that to my wonderful stunt doubles as well, who adopted this movement very well.
I love that.
We were robbed, everyone.
We were robbed.
Much of it was because I was having to deal with these very long acrylic nails, which hats off to anyone who has to deal with acrylic nails. I couldn't do anything all day with them.
But I love how much you find the enjoyment in this. I mean, you obviously have to, but it comes through so much in the performance and in the character of Gore. I was just overjoyed every time you were on screen. It was so much fun to watch Gore doing his thing.
You're obviously a very sick man.
Yes!
Be overjoyed to watch a god butcher doing his butchering.
That's between me and my counselor, but yeah, you're not too far off.
But that's the thing, though, is that I was saying this earlier, that every enemy in the MCU, there's a grain of truth in what they say, and they have a lot of their supporters. Do you feel like there is something with Gore that would make everybody go, he's kind of right?
Well, I mean, let's make no mistake. He is a butcher. He is a monster. But, yeah, there might be something that you see where you go, I'm a little conflicted here. You might just find a little bit of understanding in him.
We look forward to getting to know and understand him more. Thank you so much for talking with us,
Thank you.
Bale.
Christian Bale, everybody! Samara, how you doing?
I am doing great.
That was Christian Bale, who plays the role of Gore the God Butcher in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Well, you were just saying that it's cool to come here.
Gore is the main villain in this movie, directed by Taika Waititi, and all the characters like Valkyrie, the mighty Thor.
Tessa, I haven't seen them since we shot the movie, so it'll be great to see everybody and to see the movie.
Korg, Jane Foster, who becomes the mighty Thor, fight against Gore the God Butcher because he's out to kill all the gods, the Greek gods, that is.
Just amazing. He's a force of nature, and I kind of couldn't believe how fun his set is. It's very much, he's very chill and kind of anything.
Let's skip on to see the next main cast members talk to the interviewers.
Incredible mix. Stage one to see what's happening over there.
Chris Hemsworth is here now.
We're joined by the God of Thunder, Chris Hemsworth.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Chris, I got to ask you, you're kind of a fitness guy. You've got an app. You try to stay in okay shape. What was it like for you to know that the internet was talking more about Natalie's biceps than yours this time around?
I was glad. I trained her.
Really?
Yeah, that was all my doing.
You did that.
Can you?
Her commitment and my motivation and teaching, yeah.
So when she comes up, if we're to ask her, how did you get into shape?
I wouldn't ask her that. No. Let's just keep that between us.
Okay. She doesn't like to talk too much about it.
So do you have some advice for other aspiring Thors in terms of fitness?
Well, we see a lot of them on the carpet over here. They're doing fantastic. They're in better shape than I am.
They're looking great.
I don't need any help from me.
I have to ask, though, what it was like. I mean, obviously, we've been hearing a lot about the story of Jane and Thor from Thor's perspective, mostly through ghosted, unanswered calls and voicemails and things like that. What was it like, not just to have Jane come back, but to have Natalie come back for this one?
Fantastic. I started this journey with Natalie 11, 12 years ago, and Taika pitched this story to me a few years ago, and I was thrilled and excited, but mostly to work with Natalie again. She's a dear friend and incredibly talented, and I love what she had done in the previous films. But she and all of us were excited to see a different side of the character, and that's what we have in this film, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, and talking about that journey, you are now the first actor, the first Marvel hero to have 4 solo films. That's kind of crazy, huh?
That's cool, yeah. That's exciting and humbling, and I don't know if they're trying to usher me out to the finish line quickly and get on with it, but either way, I'll take it.
They sit you down and they're like, now, you know, Chris, everybody else did 3, so...
That's right. Well, we squeeze one more out of you? Sure. Look, I've loved every step of this journey, and each time I do a Marvel film, I think this is the last one, and not for me, but I think someone's going to be sick of me, and to be asked back again and again, and to be here with 8 or 9 films now with Marvel is a dream. So,
Well, we saw a real shift in Thor around in Ragnarok, and it seems like you get to have a lot of fun with these.
absolutely. And look, each film we got the opportunity to do something very different, and that comes from working with different directors, having a different story, different scripts. In particular, when Taika came along, both of us had said we're ready for something differently creatively from the character, and it was a beautiful script that offered us that opportunity. But he is a master at sort of misdirection, and just when you think you have a grasp on what's happening, he'll change it and give you something else, and that's what makes there's a sort of unpredictable nature to his storytelling across all of his films. But in my experience with the Marvel films that we've done together, it's just been unlike anything else I've done.
In Ragnarok, we saw Thor kind of trying to come to terms with who his family is and who he is, and sort of being comfortable with himself. And I thought that was such a fun thing to see. What would you say is Thor's journey this time in Love and Thunder? What is he looking for?
Without giving too much away, it's a journey of self-discovery. There's obviously a love story in there. You know, I think Taika wanted to make a romantic comedy set in space, and it's that, and it's crazy and wild and unique and different. And you know, yeah, as I said, as to speak to the journey of the character, you'll have to tune in and see.
Well, we cannot wait to see it. We cannot wait for everybody else to see it. Chris Hemsworth, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. Excited for you all to see it. Have a great night.
You too. Take care.
Thank you so much.
That was Chris Hemsworth, the main protagonist in Thor: Love and Thunder. He plays the role of Thor in the movie.
All of the actors just try and dance around answering our questions, and yet not really being able to say anything because they've all been trained so well to avoid spoilers. But I have to say, I love listening to Chris Hemsworth talk about the journey of Thor. I mean, this is a character who over time has been through so much. I mean, he's lost his mom, his dad, his brother, his home planet.
Let's skip up to Natalie Portman's part.
About his place in one story, because it's
Natalie Portman.
My wonderful stunt doubles as well, who adopted this movement very well.
I love that.
We were robbed, everyone.
We were robbed.
Feel so lucky to be on the set of Ultron and hearing folks talk about Marvel Studios' Captain America: Civil War, and he wasn't in it, so he kind of thought that he was done, and I'm so glad.
Thor herself, Natalie Portman, everyone!
Natalie Portman is here.
Oh, Natalie, welcome welcome back to the MCU.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
I, for one, am so glad to have another lady superhero, but also another lady in STEM in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I agree. I'm so happy to be back. I feel so lucky to be back with this crew.
Now, when Taika pitched this storyline to you, what was your reaction?
I was so excited to get the chance to work with Chris and Tessa again. I worked with Tessa not on a Thor movie, but on Annihilation before. So I was so thrilled to get the opportunity to get to be with them again and to work with Taika for the first time, who's just such an extraordinary talent.
Were you able to improvise a lot?
It was a learning process for sure. I definitely have like renewed respect for it, seeing what Taika and Chris and Tessa are able to come up with on the fly among the many incredible people who are in this. It was a joy every day to get to watch.
It seems like it's just a group of people that really trusts each other, really loves to collaborate with each other, really loves to like listen and work with each other, which is lovely to see.
I think everyone was really having a good time, and you can tell when you watch it, like it's a party.
I want to talk about the moment at San Diego Comic-Con in 2019 when you came out and Taika Waititi got on his knees and presented Mjolnir to you. How did it feel for you in that moment?
It was surreal. I mean, Taika is wonderful at knowing how to make everything a real moment and finding humor in and spontaneity in every gesture. So it was really fun and exciting to get to come out to the world that way.
And speaking of moments, one thing that we had talked about with Chris just now is that we have heard the story of Jane and Thor from Thor's perspective for so long. And it's been so interesting to see. What are we going to see from Jane's perspective? What is Jane feeling and what has Jane been up to?
But yes, that is an exciting question to ponder.
I love it. And then finally, how does it feel to know, Hemsworth is just so proud of how fit he is. How does it feel to know that people are talking more about your biceps than his?
Well, I mean, Hemsworth is the ultimate. I mean, he's incredible, and it was very lucky to have him as the sort of expert and guide who was very generous with sharing the kind of inside info. And it's really fun to get to be a 6-foot character when you're a 5'3" girl. That doesn't happen often in your life.
The magic of cinema.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here.
That is Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman plays the role of Maya the Mighty Thor,
Of facts that I know about.
the female version of Thor.
Kind of a Thorologist.
But let's see what the fans know about.
Avengers, it's all beloved.
Make sure.
Skipping through to Taika Waititi.
The director of the film and Korg, Taika Waititi. Hello, sir. Taika.
I didn't even ask them to do that.
Taika.
Okay, but did you ask them to do that?
I didn't ask them to do that.
Okay. All right, if you say so. I am so overjoyed to be here tonight. I want to say Ragnarok was one of my favorite films, one of our favorite films for sure. And so we're so excited for the world to see Love and Thunder. You came in, and Chris has talked about this, you came in and you kind of wanted to shake things up in a very big way. All of you did. Can you talk about what you kind of wanted to do with Thor when you came in?
On the first one, it was really just about working with Chris's strengths. I'm good friends with him, and he's just the kind of guy that you want to be on an adventure with in real life. And so we just wanted to really embrace that and work with his strengths, which is he's just good at everything. And so and then on this new one, we wanted to take it a little further and introduce this concept of love and what that means to Thor.
Let me ask you, how did you have to convince anybody to let you make Thor a himbo? Do you know himbo?
But I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a.
I like a bimbo, but a himbo.
Yes,
Like a golden retriever man.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think I had to convince anyone at all. Really, no.
Really? They just let you do it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, I think everyone knows. Yeah, it's exploitation, really, isn't it? But
It's about time.
Yeah.
It's about time we had some exploitation in the film industry. Now, I want to ask, you said you wanted to tell a love story. Why was it so important to bring Jane back now and tell this story?
Well, because she's a beloved character, and also Natalie's a beloved actor, and like and I got a lot of love for her. Admired her for many years, and even just to have the chance just to work with her was huge to me, and to bring her back and to take that character from the comics, the mighty Thor, and for her to hold the hammer, it's just a beautiful progression and evolution of the franchise.
I heard that you went to her house personally and pitched the storyline to her.
Yeah, I dropped off some comic books with that storyline in it, but I think it's these films. Luckily, Ragnarok, I think, was probably something that that really maybe open that door a little bit more. Yeah.
People saw what you could do with it.
Yeah. Now, we're also introducing some other characters that I love from that same run of comics and a little bit later, with especially Gore, the god, which I love it. What made you choose Gore for the villain?
Well, at Marvel, so me and Brad Winderbaum, right from the start, we were thinking about what we were going to do. We wanted Jane as Mighty Thor. We'd always loved Gore. We always loved that comic run, and so that really was like the first idea for a villain was to bring him in, and then to get Christian was just that was just like for me again. I'm really amazed with all the actors I managed to get into this film. Real heavyweights, and it's been amazing.
Now, Christian said that their cut from the film is a Gore dance number. Can you explain or show us any of this Gore dance that exists?
I can't show it to you because it's Christian owns that. That's his. He copyrights his dances. I don't know if you know that about him.
That's right.
But I wanted to. We were just exploring different ways, with villains of what we could do with them, and that was an idea that came about. And sometimes with villains you just need them to be bad, and not amazing dancers.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is if you see Christian dance, you immediately weep with joy, and that doesn't work for a villain.
No, that's not going to work.
Too relatable a villain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So
for
nice.
this today. We are so
This
excited
is
to show the
Taika
world this
Waititi,
movie.
the director of Thor: Love and Thunder. He's an interesting person.
Oh, tomorrow, what's going on?
What's going on is that
Let's
I am
skip
here with a and he
to another main
to say for difficult
character
I have
actor.
to add the right details because you're not be attorney walk in criticism your job say to so
Anthony, we can't talk about anything in this movie, but we can talk a little bit about the new hero and new villain.
That's right. We are very excited.
But who are
But
they?
who are they really? Let's get to know their likes and their dislikes.
Roll it.
Jane? The old ex-girlfriend.
What's it been like 3-4 years?
8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, give or take. This is my vow. You are not like the other gods that I've killed, because I have something worth fighting for.
Thor: Love and Thunder will be releasing on July 8th.
Watching all of these clips, one thing jumps out. I mean, a lot
This
of things
is the
jump out,
world
but one thing
premiere
that
to
obviously jumps out
Thor: Love and
is
Thunder, which took
the
place in Los
aesthetic
Angeles on the
choices
23rd of
this film.
June
It is
2022.
So 80s.
That
and
is
so
like
powerful,
yesterday.
So heavy metal.
And also, this
And a
is
lot
the
of that
red
is due
carpet
to the
to
visual
Thor:
effects
Love and
team.
Thunder.
Some of the views, I mean, look,
In the new
locations, they're
Better late than not at all.
It's very nice. As you know, we used to live in a peaceful oasis, but then our gods were murdered.
Murdered?
And now our sacred temple has been left unguarded, and Hopus's holds to control of its power. It is our most sacred shrine, and
Some spoilers here.
King Khan, tell them what happened here today. Tell of the time that Thor, the ragtag motley crew, misfit desperados, turned the tide in the battle, and etched their names.
Guardians of the Galaxy are in there.
May be against us, but I'll
That
tell you
was
this
a
for free.
spoiler. They shouldn't have done that.
And here and now.
Oh.
That was
we have
a
a
funny
wonderful
scene.
moment happening right now. Karen Gillan is checking out a Nebula cosplayer who is an amazing Nebula cosplayer, if I may say.
I will never get over the interactions of the fans and their beautiful work, getting to meet the people who embody those characters on screen, and vice versa.
Speaking of which, here is Karen Gillan right now. Oh, hi, that's you. Welcome. We just saw that Nebula cosplay.
That was really cool. I've seen 2 Nebulas so far, and the makeups have been completely intricate and incredible. And I'm like, how are you doing that yourselves? It takes 2 people about 4 hours to do it to me. So I'm very impressed.
Has that gotten a little easier over time?
Yeah, it has actually. Yeah, it started off as about 5 hours on the first Guardians film, and now we have it down to about 3 hours. And it's just much more streamlined.
Now, we saw about maybe 15 30 seconds of Thor and the Guardians interacting at the end of Endgame, and we kind of saw a little bit about what that interaction is going to be like. I know you can't say too much, but can you give us a general, what's the vibe between the Guardians and Thor?
The vibe is really fun. I would say the vibe is bonkers. Taika, the director, has such a specific style and tone. It's completely bonkers. He has his own brand of humor in a way, and so I think you're going to see the Guardians kind of plopped into that world and that sort of sense of humor. So you're going to see a more bonkers side of them, and yeah, it's going to be funny to see them interacting with each other.
And it feels like, though, between James and y'all and everything you've been doing on Guardians and everything Taika and the team have been doing on Thor, space is just sort of like a bonkers, wacky place sometimes.
I think it is. And the weird thing is I've spent probably I've spent years in space now at this point, so it's becoming really normal to me. It's more bonkers on Earth.
Nebula is in some ways very much the straight man a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yet you still manage to get those zingers in.
Yeah, she's a very serious, she takes herself really seriously. And in that, I kind of find a lot of comedy, because there's nothing more funny than someone who's reacting really seriously to something when everyone's kind of finding the humor in it. And so in that sense, I kind of find her funny, even though she's very much on the straighter side of things. She's an angry former sadist.
She's so angry.
She's an angry woman.
And then, not to stifle that emotional expression, because it's good for women to be angry sometimes.
If she's angry, she should be angry.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit how things went on Guardians 3. Was everything cool? I know you can't talk about that either, but can you just let us know a little bit about how it went and how you're feeling about it?
It was such an amazing experience. I loved working on that movie so much. I'm about to burst. I loved it. It was so good. I just loved where the character went. I loved working with James again. I'm so glad that he was back with us. And it was the family got reunited, and I think we've taken it to a whole new level this time. And there might be maybe a feeling of closing out a chapter of sorts. And so it was a little bit bittersweet in a sense, but I think everybody is kind of just upped it for this one.
Did it feel kind of different? How was it for you to have Nebula be a full-fledged part of the crew and just be able to kind of be on that side of things where you get to be a little bit more wacky and chummy with the other characters?
I was really excited to be am I a fully fledged Guardian now? Yes, I think I am. And I was I did not think that was going to happen from the first time I played the character in the first film. So to get to actually really be part of the team and kind of, just feel a part of it in that way was an honor.
And
did you and Sean have to eat at a different lunch table until Guardians 3, and now you get to eat at the big lunch table with the cool kids? Is that how it worked?
Okay, so not literally, but metaphorically, yes.
Well, we are glad to have you at the Cool Kids table now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking with us, Karen.
Thank you so much. Aaron Gillan, thank you so much. Tamara, what you got going on? Who you with?
Oh my gosh, there is so much going on down here. So, Christian Bale just walked by. Chris Hemsworth just walked by. And I have to say, like, the nice, that's okay. No, you're all good. Christian Bale, you can bump into me anytime you want to. That was our Gore. And as I was saying, Chris Hemsworth just walked by. He stopped by.
I think
he
the
said
actors
hello.
are now making their way into the theater
Eric and Anthony. He was like,
for
"Great, no,
the
but I just
screening
wanted
of
to
the
stop by and say
movie
hello."
Thor: Love and
Ridiculously
Thunder.
charming, the essence of movie star. But I mean, okay, I don't know if you all heard that. That was the fans screaming. I'm not sure who they're screaming for. Oh, no, they're seeing Chris Hemsworth. They're waving at him. They're screaming for him. It's so exciting here. There's so much going on. And I loved watching that interview with Karen Gillan. She is a fellow member of the Ginger Club, and she's so, so funny. So it was great to hear her talk with you guys about the Cool Kids table and what's going on. The other thing that's really cool is seeing all of the executives greet each other. And, you know, they've all worked so hard on this movie. And so to hear Luis D'Esposito talk about the fact that this is actually the night that makes him the most nervous. You know, he's seen the film already a bunch of times through the production process, but the night that they birth it to fans, I
Let's
love
skip
the
to
fact
the
that
next
all of
guest.
these executives
Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige, did you see Tamara Krinsky steal Christian Bale's wallet? Did you see that happen?
It was like thievery to me.
He brushed up against her real quick, and it was gone like that.
Wow.
Oh, Tamara,
Funny.
sticky fingers Krinsky.
Have the police
Is at it
been
again.
called?
Well, you know,
Yes.
this is a self-contained
A little
environment.
bit funny.
So we have jurisdiction here.
Okay. Crane, you sure do.
That was big snitch energy, though, Anthony.
I'm
not gonna lie.
sorry. I immediately snitch. Kevin, I just want to. This is so wonderful. 29 Marvel films now with Love and Thunder, and and the momentum is just picking up. How is it feeling?
It feels amazing. It feels amazing every time we're on this carpet. It feels amazing. This is our first solo part 4, so that's exciting. And that look at the energy here and the enthusiasm for this movie. I said to Chris, I said this feels like, you know, your first one. It's awesome. And Taika, we had to go out of our way to not call it Ragnarok 2. And it's not, as Taika will tell you, but it's that renewed Taika energy followed us in for years and years into this movie.
I think we all sort of fell in love with the world that he created in Thor. And so what we can feel like we can safely say what the tone might be for this one, but what's the genre of this one? Because every Marvel film is pretty much a different genre.
This genre is the Taika genre. It's the Taika Waititi genre, which is what
Nice.
unto itself. And as he said, it is.
Yes, that
there's
would be
ton
a
of fun
funny
as you see with
genre.
all the trailers, but Taika did say, "I don't want to do Ragnarok 2. I want to tell a new story." And the title is there. I mean, there is a lot of emotion in this, which in Ragnarok, but particularly in many of Taika's other movies, you see that balance. And that's really what the entire cast brings in this one.
And I know that, you know, we've talked before. You were a huge comics guy before you got into this. How did it feel to be sort of adapting this Jason Aaron run, which was a hugely influential run, and bringing back Jane as Thor, which was a hugely influential run on the comics?
2 great runs. And that was Taika saying these are 2 great stories. They were influential for him on Ragnarok, even just getting the tone and getting the idea of what that movie could be and how the continuation of the Thor franchise could be. And that both Gore and the Mighty Thor are in this. Gore and the Mighty Thor in Thor 4.
More! There it is.
Why didn't I think of that?
Kevin,
Nice
before
rhyme.
you leave, just drop one thing that you're not supposed to drop. Just one big secret right here. Just look right in the camera.
About what?
About anything.
I've not seen the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi yet.
Whoa, dude!
I've not seen it.
No,
I usually stay up and watch it, and I didn't this time. I was
Cut to Tamara.
Tamara,
We cannot have.
help us out
Sorry.
here.
I don't know what's going on over there. Brad was he
Love and now I had and
Valkyrie!
Tessa Thompson is making her way, I think.
Valkyrie to all of us.
That's right.
We're here
Yes,
with
Tessa Thompson is
King
here.
Valkyrie of New Asgard.
Tessa. How's Valkyrie doing with the position of king? Because I feel like she's loving all of the power suits very much, but the rest of it may not
The
be for
power
her.
itself, maybe no.
No, she's into the suits. She loves musical theater, which is why she's wearing
Phantom of
a
the Opera
Phantom of the Opera
sweatshirt.
sweatshirt. She loves being on Earth. She loves all the folks that cosplay. That's her favorite. She just doesn't. She's not great with paperwork. Her and Meek are struggling a little bit in the bureaucracy.
But they understand dress for the job you want.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they're really excited to be fashionable. We were really inspired. Myas, the costume designer, who's brilliant, by Frida Kahlo and her three-piece suits. But it's really fun to imagine what she's like on Earth.
And I do love that she came to Earth, and because she's such a number one. She was a new character to everybody in Ragnarok and immediately became a fan favorite, which must have been wonderful for you.
It was an amazing surprise.
But also, we really think of her as like sort of a closed-off badass. And so to see that the closed-off badass enjoys musicals and enjoys these kind of like cosplays and things on Earth is a really fun insight into her character.
No, she's just a big pile of mush, When we met her in Ragnarok, she had a lot of trauma, and she was really missing her sisters, and she was healing, but she's much healthier now, much happier, but still as adventurous as she ever was.
Adventurous. It's a nice character in the Marvel universe.
Coming back and working with Taika and Chris and everybody again, I'm sure was wonderful. But how did it feel to have Natalie and some of the other kind of classic Thor castmates in for the first time with you?
It felt amazing. I'm a fan of these films. Natalie and I are friends outside of making these movies. And so, they sort of have the spirit of summer camp anyways. And then to have a friend come along, and it was so fun to finally see her have a cape and enter a universe that was familiar to her, but as a superhero.
We see in the trailer that you two have sort of like a buddy relationship already.
Yeah, we're good friends. That's the other thing, that they're exes. She and Thor and Valkyrie are good friends. So it's a real family affair.
I love it. Thank you so much, Tessa Thompson. We're so excited to see this movie.
Me too. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you. I would like to ask before we go, what do you think Valkyrie is?
You can do it.
I can do this.
No, you can do it.
How is Valkyrie important in the cinematic universe? Why is her story important?
Oh, yeah, why? The fans can tell me. Why is Valkyrie important?
Badass.
I guess she's a badass.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much, Tessa.
Thanks so much for having me.
Tamara, what's going on with you?
That was Tessa Thompson, who plays the role of Valkyrie.
And I'm here with Joe Russo.
Let's skip on to the next main guest,
I should ask his brother.
who
but
is
without each other.
part of the Guardians
Large
of the Galaxy.
And one of which is Thor 2012 or 2014, which is Jason Aaron.
That's right.
And we talked about how Thor is 60 years old this year, starting with Journey into Mystery.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And if you want to read all of these stories, if you want to dig deeper into the Marvel universe,
You can find 30,000 comics on Marvel Unlimited app. Let's take a look.
We know you're out there. We know you're watching. And we're watching what you're saying on social.
But only if you tag #Thor.
To everybody showing up. And I believe we have just seen the arrival of Chris Pratt, Star-Lord
Chris
himself.
Pratt is here.
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can never get
Guardians
it
of
right.
Galaxy.
I'm doing a bit.
Oh my gosh. I just saw, did you see the mocap Korg costume?
I did. That's my favorite costume.
Somebody is dressed as Taika doing mocap for Korg.
He has the goats with him.
I love
can we
that.
cut to a shot
Yeah,
of that?
there we
Of
just
that?
saw him.
Korg, CG Korg with the goats. It's very exciting for us. You know, I really seriously shout out to all of the Marvel fans. They've been here for longer than we have, out in the sun, and we get a little bit of shade now, but they've been out here in their leather and furs and wigs and helmets. Thank you all so much.
Y'all are amazing.
Chris Pratt giving autographs and taking selfies
Absolutely.
with his
And then there we
fans
see, there
right
he is.
now.
There's Chris Pratt signing some autographs, checking out some Star Lords. We've got a couple very good Star Lords.
Again, leather coats in 90-degree weather.
Bonus points to everybody wearing the original trench coat Star Lord in the 90-degree heat today.
Yes.
That is commitment.
It's hot in Los Angeles too.
Absolutely commitment. Erica.
Anthony.
Have you ever done any of the Marvel cosplay yourself?
I have.
Chris Pratt is
actually.
going around giving
I have
autographs
done
and
a casual,
taking selfies.
Star-Lord, because I am quite partial to a red leather jacket.
Yeah.
And also of the character that I'm not sure that is officially a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe yet. But if you are a fan of Marvel and Marvel Comics, you might be able to figure out which one it was.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
A lot of fans
I did.
in Los Angeles.
I've got a very good
Many
Civil War
people
Spider-Man
there.
at home that I do.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And when I do it, I walk around with Cap's shield.
That's here. Chris Pratt speak.
Your tickets top of their lungs on a full
Yes, Chris
screen.
Pratt is here.
Well.
What's happening, team? We all right?
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Look at this, man. What a turnout. Gotta love these Marvel fans.
I'll tell you what, they have been wonderful. So many good Star Lords. I saw you pointing some of them out. It's got to feel good to see that.
Let's give a shout out to all these wonderful cosplayers out here, man. I love it. Wow, the dedication. It means so much to us to have you show up here. We made these, made this movie for you. You're the best fan base in the world.
Peter Quill, Star
We
Lord.
love you. Thank you.
I gotta say, it's exciting to see the Guardians and Thor together because there is such a
no shit. Woo! Come on. No, they don't care. Sorry.
But the last we saw of them, it seems that tensions were thick in the ship.
Yeah, they were. They were. Thor takes up a lot of space in the Milano.
Well, I gotta say,
what's the matter with you? Hey now, hey now.
But I gotta say, Thor and Star-Lord, very similar dudes with very similar egos, and having the two of them together has got to be a very interesting thing, and it must have been a fun thing to play out.
Oh yeah, well we'll see. It was a fun thing when we did it. The Russo brothers directing us on Avengers on Endgame. At the end of that, that was a lot of fun. And Taika takes it really in his own direction here in Love and Thunder. I'm very curious myself to see what's assembled because obviously we know what we did, but you know how Marvel is. They won't even let us know what's going on. And so I'm about to go in this theater and find out what the hell we did.
Ooh, is there anything that you're excited for people to be looking for in this?
Well, I mean, we got Christian Bale in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How dope is that? I'm very excited to watch him, the God Slayer. I'm really excited to, Taika is amazing as Korg and Hemsworth. I was there to witness what he's doing in this. I think he did a fantastic job. He looks so good. I mean, it's incredible the shape that he's in. He's bringing a total rock and roll 80s vibe to space. And, it's Taika Waititi. He knows what he's up to. So I'm excited to get in there and check it out.
And we got space goats now, man.
We got space goats. I remember Taika was like, I won't do his impression. He's like, he just wanted to stick James with some goats. He was like, I'll be reading the script, mate, and I decided to put some goats in there, see what he's gonna do with them. So like James has to pick up the where Taika left off, and he stuck us with some space goats.
But I love this because this brings up a question that I've always had about the MCU, which is, do y'all really do that to each other? Where it's like, we're gonna put this in the background, and now you have to deal with it, man. And let's see what you do.
Typically, no, but I guess Taika kind of plays by his own set of rules. You know what I mean? He did that with, you'll see. There's a few things that he did that I think it was kind of an inside joke to play on James.
Very funny.
It's a bit of that sort of improv world where, see what you can roll,
Improvising
and the yes and
in the
sort of
movie.
culture of comedy.
And you're no stranger to improvisation yourself. Is there anything that you're gonna make somebody else in a later movie run with?
Oh man.
Anything you'd want to?
God, at this point, I think we've wrapped Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's a little too late now. And I'm not the director, I'm just the actor. So I show up and do my thing, and I'm sort of at the mercy of what they want to put in the show. So
whatever they say that you have to give to somebody else, you're going to give that.
Absolutely. Of course I would. Yeah.
Well, Chris, we're so excited to see the interaction between the Guardians and Thor. We're so excited to see this movie. Thank you so much for spending the time with us.
Absolutely my pleasure to be here. Thank you both for having me here. Marvel.com. And to all of you fans, again, thank you so much. It will never not be surreal to walk out onto a red carpet and see people dressed up like the character that you played. So thank you. You honor us, you humble us, and we're grateful for you. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here.
We are getting so very close right now.
So these are all the main characters who came on stage and talked about their characters in the movie Thor, Love and Thunder, which will be releasing on the 8th of July, 2022. This was the world premiere to the movie and the red carpet too, which took place in Los Angeles on the 23rd of June, 2022. This was my live reaction video to the world premiere of Thor, Love and Thunder. So this is all from me. Kindly like and share this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye for now.